didn't just sit down to write a book. I received it, one money code at a time. And each time I opened to listen, a new code came through fully formed. I wasn't strategizing, I was receiving. And that book became the 22 Millionaire Money Codes, and it went on to hit #1 on Amazon. That's the power of aligned creation, of translating frequency into something real, something tangible. And in this episode, I'll show you how to take your divine downloads, the ones already alive inside of you, and shape them into offers that generate real income, expand your wealth, and shift the people that they're meant to. Because when you build your business from alignment, you're doing more than just making money. You're growing your impact, your influence, and your freedom. Welcome back to Purpose Driven Millionaire. I'm Connie Grant, and this series is all about building wealth through resonance, not just strategy. And today we're going to go deep into one of the most powerful and most misunderstood pieces of your business, your offers, the ones that are already alive inside of you. The assignments you've been given by your soul team are designed to create transformation, not just transactions. Because here's the truth. Your soul already knows the offer. Your clarity comes after you make the commitment. And when you create from alignment, you don't just sell something, you transmit something. So let's talk about how to bridge the gap between intuition and income, and what to do when the vision is big, but the form, the structure, or pricing, it's not quite clear yet. So I want to start with the part that no one really ever talks about. It's not the branding, not the packaging, but it's the soul wisdom that starts it all. Because if you're truly tuned in, the assignment has already arrived. Maybe it's not in a full detailed picture yet, but it is in your frequency. And with it, a potential to create wealth from the inside out. So have you ever had an idea drop in so clearly it felt like it was delivered by something greater? Maybe it came in as a meditation or through a dream that lingered with purpose. And maybe it arrived while you're just driving or doing the dishes or walking in nature. These moments when your soul team finally could get through to you. And that's why I always say keep a notebook nearby, whether that's pen and paper or a voice memo that you enter into your phone. Because when your soul team is trying to get through to you, they will use any open channel. And when I say soul team, I mean the unseen allies that walk with you, your spiritual guides, your higher self, and source consciousness, who you are forever connected to. They're not here to micromanage you. They're here to remind you, to deliver soul assignments, to bring you back to what you came here to do. These assignments are similar to soul contracts, but instead of agreements between people, it's an agreement you have with your business. They're invitations to embody your calling and to receive compensation for it. Because there is no lack when you are aligned with your soul-led business. That's how wealth flows. It's through purpose. And the moment you receive them, the universe begins conspiring. You'll start experiencing synchronicities where that right book finds you, where the exact conversation you needed to hear happens, and where a podcast mirrors the idea that you just scribbled in your journal. They're not just coincidences. They're confirmations that your soul work is ready to become a vehicle for transformation and income. I remember standing in a Chapters bookstore years ago. I wasn't looking for anything in particular. I was just browsing, but one book was sticking out from the top shelf, and it was like it was just kind of waiting there for me. And that book was Hands of Light by Barbara Brennan. And that book, it changed everything for me because 1 year later, I was enrolled in her school in Miami, the Barbara Brennan School of Healing, where I had received not just education, but an initiation, a deep remembrance of the energy work, the soul work that has always been inside of me. And that's how divine assignments work. They don't always show up in boardrooms or business plans. Sometimes they find you in bookstores, in dreams. And yes, sometimes in moments where you notice what you stumbled upon is the very thing that just changes everything. And when that happens, when that download comes through, you'll want to remember the message, because the truth is, most people miss it. I know there have been many times that I've had vivid dreams that shared something really important with me, and I wake up and I'm excited about the information download, and I tell myself, ooh, this is good. And then I fall back asleep. And I think, yeah, I'll remember this dream in the morning. But then when I wake up, it's gone and I can't recall my dream. So write it down. Have a pen and paper on your nightstand. Record a voice memo or enter a note on your phone, because most people, they second guess the nudges that they receive, but not you. You're a purpose-driven millionaire. Your mission is sacred, and your wealth path, it begins when you trust that your download is worth getting paid for. You don't need to figure it all out to earn from it. You only need to recognize its frequency and value, because aligned offers, they don't start with structure. They start with your resonance, and they lead to revenue that's in integrity. They're not forced. They're felt. And they're not logical. They're alive inside of you. They're alive in your field. So if you've ever abandoned an idea because it just didn't make sense, because you didn't know how to sell it, price it, or scale it, this is your invitation to revisit it. That vision, it wasn't random. It was a soul assignment. And your only job now is to say yes and then listen deeper. Attune with your higher self and ask, what does this offer want to become? How does it want to be experienced? And who is this offer here to serve? And then just let your body respond, not your ego, not your mind, because your nervous system feels wealth before it calculates it. For me, my energy field expands, and I'm super curious, and I'm always searching. My body, it literally leans in when something comes through from my soul. Like it already knows income will flow, and I pay attention to those ideas, signs, and momentum. And you might feel your heart flutter in your chest. You might feel this spark of excitement, or sometimes it may even move you to tears. Not because you're worried or scared, but because the message is so potent and clear. And you know that it is going to have meaningful impact, because that's the intelligence of your system. That's what your body knows before your mind has a chance to catch up. So when you follow it, wealth follows you. Your role is to tune in, to listen, to lead. And then clarity comes after the commitment. Structure forms once the frequency is activated. And the clients, they don't wait for your sales page. They respond to the energetic vibration that you're sending. So now comes the part where you translate your sacred idea into tangible income. This is where many soul-led entrepreneurs get stuck. Not because their idea isn't good, but because translating energy into structure requires a different kind of trust. Because wealth, it's part of your mission. You're here to be resourced, and that's financially sourced. And income is not just allowed, it's encoded into your assignment. When you price from alignment, money becomes a transmission too. You're not charging, you're holding an energetic field of value. And money enters the field through resonance. And if you're wondering if this will sell, then flip the question. What energy do I need to embody to attract aligned wealth? And what pricing honors the transformation that I'm facilitating? Because money, it responds to clarity. It responds to certainty. Maybe it becomes a new business venture, a new product, new service, or a sacred container no one's ever done before, because it was always meant to move through you. And when you begin building from this place, your words, they feel more alive, and your structure, it supports your essence, and your pricing becomes a declaration, not a negotiation. This is how the intangible becomes tangible, not through strategy first, but through energetic leadership. And I've lived this. I didn't sit down to write a book. I channeled it, one money code at a time. The 22 Millionaire Money Codes, they weren't brainstormed in a workshop or in a book writing seminar. They came fully formed because I was paying attention. I was listening. And I sat at my computer, connected to the soul of that book that wanted to come through me, and I just started typing. And I know this sounds simple, and it is. If you align your energy to the energy of the thing that you want to midwife into the world, that's what aligned offers do. They call you. They require your presence and willingness to connect. And when you honor those downloads, they can turn into best-selling books, breakthrough programs, or signature offers that change your life and the lives of others. Aligned offers, they don't beg for validation. They radiate truth. And that's what people feel. But how do you know if you're asking the right questions? The kind that move your offer forward instead of keeping you stuck. You don't force the answers through logic. You feel your way there. You use your body as a compass, and your higher self, it already knows. For some, that's a simple check-in. Does my energy feel expanded or contracted? Does my energy feel light or heavy? Because your body, it'll always show you the way. You can even ask your offer what it wants to become. So what is the clearest next step for this to come to life? What's the most aligned way this wants to be shared? And then trust the answer that arrives. There's no right way to ask your questions, only what aligns with your energy. So I will ask a question, and if the answer that comes through is vague, then I go a little bit deeper and I ask another question based on the information that I just received. And I keep going with this method until I'm clear on what my next steps should be. Because your business, it has a soul too. Your soul and the soul of your business are here to co-create. And when you ask it with reverence, it answers with clarity. This is where soul meets service, and service creates sustainable income, where the energy you've been holding inside, it begins to speak. You've received the download. You've connected with its truth, and you've started to build it out through frequency first. So now the question becomes, how do I share this in a way that's as alive as when it first came through to me? This is about transmitting the frequency of the offer through your voice, your story, your embodiment. And for me, it was launching the Purpose Driven Millionaire podcast. It's not just a platform, but a pathway to expand my message and multiply my impact and my wealth. This allows me to circulate more good and more wealth to others too. Because the right people, they don't just hear you. They hire you. They buy from you. They share your work. Whether your offer becomes a program, a retreat, a school, a book, or a movement, it's not just meant to exist. It's meant to prosper. When you build from alignment, your offer doesn't just attract attention. It magnetizes wealth. The right clients, the right opportunities, the right ripple effects, they all begin to align because money is a response to embodiment. It's not separate from your mission. It amplifies it. Your next offer isn't something outside of you. It's already alive in your energetic field and ready to become a source of both impact and income. When you lead from frequency, money becomes a byproduct of service. Wealth becomes a reflection of resonance. And every offer you create moves you and your clients into greater alignment with your legacy. So if something's been trying to get your attention, an idea, a vision, a knowing that just won't leave, this is your sign. Build the offer, share the transmission, and let it change lives and let it support you financially. And if you're ready to take this work deeper, come join us inside the Everything is Energy membership. It's where we activate your highest timeline of wealth, service, and soul-aligned success. You can join at purposedrivenmillionaire.com or explore more resources and ways to work together at conniegrant.com. This is Purpose Driven Millionaire, where legacy meets frequency and your income matches your impact. Until next time, keep leading with soul, building with purpose, and rising into your highest timeline.